Welcome back to Returning to Basics. Today we're going to be getting a bed cleaned and some things moved into it. I have all of those strawberry plants and I've decided to move them out here. So we will be picking all the green tomatoes about halfway down this bed, and I'll make sweet relish out of those, and then we'll pick the red ones that are left for me for dinner, and we'll add mulch and then transplant strawberry plants out here for the winter. Sweet 100s produce until it's cold, and it's getting down to 40 at night, so we were trying to get the strawberries in the ground before we had much colder weather. So some people call it relish, some people call it chow chow, and so I'll be making that out of the green tomatoes. About the time I think I'm finished, I find another cluster. Looking for my Aunt Shirley's chow chow recipe. She made it with green cucumbers, oversized green cucumbers once, and she's made it several times with green tomatoes, and it was always great. Wonderful with beans and cornbread.
This one is more woody.
It's not compost, is it?
No, it's garden soil with moisture control.
We had an extra bag left over from a potting.
Okay.
The rest of these are what?
Cow manure and compost. 5-5-5. 5% nitrogen, 5% potassium, 5% phosphorus, and 5% potassium.
Flowers did really well this summer. We're going to move our flower bed. We will have flowers from now on, but this bed, because of where it's at, we will end up using it for vegetables, hopefully Jerusalem artichokes, and we will end up moving our flower bed over on the other side of the truck along the side of some landscape timbers that we put down a long time ago. I don't know what all they may have leached into the ground, so we decided we'd make use of that area with flowers. I am keeping a few tomato plants. They are still producing, and I get a few that I can ripen the rest of the way in the house, and there are some good sized ones on there, so I thought, well, we don't really need that spot right now for anything else, so I'd leave those a week or so longer. I can always pick them green and make chow chow out of them.
Leave them till first frost.
Yes. There's nothing like tomatoes off the vine from your own garden. They taste completely different. So we're going to spread this out and then start bringing strawberries over here, which is going to be a feat because we need to leave the babies attached to the big mama. And they're all in different pots. We're trying to start off with really good soil in all of our raised beds. Plus there's not a weed factor whenever you buy bagged stuff. So I just make it into the budget whenever we can. We go buy like 20 bags. The new bed for all of my flowers next year will be right over here by the bee box along this landscape timber I mentioned earlier. It's a little bit higher than the drain area, which we have right through here to come out of the front yard down and into this ditch area. So it will be a good spot for flowers next year. Zinnias did absolutely wonderful. So that will definitely be in the plans. But we probably will put some kind of fencing around them because when we had the first big storm, everything fell over. There is actually a walkway, paver blocks down here between these two beds. So we'll put some cattle panel or something up around and probably some twine or something to help everything stand up straight and tall.
We're going to compost these tomato vines and put them in our first year bin there. That way they'll die back over the winter, and we'll convert those to good usable compost soil to use in about a year to 2 years.
Well, we got them transplanted. We will mulch them heavy with straw, and hopefully next spring you won't see dirt for all of the plants. I'm hoping they'll do even better than they did this year in pots. We tried to keep all of the little babies attached. We broke a couple, but for the most part we kept them all attached. So the mama healthy plants should help the younger ones in the early part of the winter. So next spring, we'll take you along and show you what we come up with after we uncover them from the straw. Well, we're ready to plant onions. These are the varieties that I found. And we laid our dirt out before lunch, and look at the holes that, and then there's the big one over there, and then something in the corner. We were talking about why we put the wire mesh down here over where we planted spinach and kale. I don't know if it's birds or squirrels, but when you put dirt down, they come and dig. In seconds, it seems. So what I'm going to do with my onions, I'm going to do as I did with my rows over here. I'm going to make a row, And then these, they say to plant 3 to 4 inches deep. So I have my little trusty hole maker and I marked it. So looks like we have 150 onions to plant. And these are marked plant in fall. So I have not done this before. We will see how they do. It says plant in the fall and harvest in the spring. So I hope we get a good crop. We'll let you know. It also says to plant these about 2 inches apart. Make sure and put the root side down. You can tell, roots, stem. Lost my place. Always, always, always water in transplants and new plants. Don't depend on it to rain. We're supposed to have rain. But you need to get the air away from the root system. Get that ground all down around the roots. So we'll water this in good, and then we'll put straw all around it. Maybe that'll help with all the digging that's going on in the fresh dirt. We'll do the same for all the onions. $150 onions, red, white, and yellow planted today. I always figure with water, better safe than sorry. A raised bed will drain quicker and get dry quicker than anything just in the ground. So if you're planting a garden in a raised bed, you need to keep that in mind. You'll have to water it more often. Especially seeds. If you plant seeds in a raised bed, you will have to water very frequently because the top part of the soil dries out first, where the seed is, and it needs moisture to germinate. Okay, let's do the onion bed now. You see that I've marked my rows. I always mark my rows so that I know what's there. You forget. I got these little sticks in the craft section at Dollar Tree, like a whole big package for next to nothing. They only last a season, but as cheap as they are, they make gardening easier for me. And I didn't get this quadrant. Didn't have enough. I think I'll get me some garlic to put in. They didn't have garlic where I picked up the onions, except for elephant garlic. And it's my understanding elephant garlic really isn't garlic. It has the flavor of garlic, but it's not true garlic. And what I want garlic for is not just flavor, but the medicinal side of it. So I'm going to go buy some organic garlic at the natural food store, and we'll put some out over there. This is Egyptian spinach, and something spotted the leaves, so I cut it way back. It was about this tall, and the new growth is looking fine. I don't think it's actually a spinach, but it's great in salads. And it tolerates the heat extremely well, the hot heat of summer. We'll put old straw around these to keep the things, whatever it is, digging in the dirt. Don't want any of my new plants dug up. And as it gets colder, we'll gradually put more on top. We'll hopefully can find some fresh straw harvested this year, so it won't weight it down as bad. But this will just be a mound of straw to protect the strawberry plants until next spring. There you have it. As I said, we'll be putting more straw over it as the weather gets cooler and cooler to protect them. But this will keep things from digging around in them, and it'll keep moisture in the ground. Thanks for going along with us today on Returning to Basics, trying to get a little fall gardening going. If you like our channel, please press the like button. Subscribe, that would really help us. And if you want to know when we have something new coming out, then press the bell and that'll notify you when a new one's posted. Thanks again for going along with us. God bless you. Plant a fall garden. Bye.